Hi there, you're watching The Film Whisperers on Bent TV, a show where two movie nerds talk all things film through a contemporary lens. My name is Matt.
And I'm Saj. So we've been talking about 2022 and we definitely had some really good recommendations to begin with. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent and X. So I guess you cannot talk about the good without talking about the bad.
No.
I'm going to be honest, there haven't been many bad films this year, but there have been certainly ones where I would say we've both thought that hasn't been the greatest. But I think I'm going to ask you to lead this one, Matt. But thinking about the last couple of months, what would be the film that has disappointed you?
I've seen a few duds this year so far, but like you said, I think overall I've seen some pretty good ones. And this hurts me to say, but the one that comes to mind, actually I should preface this by saying I'm like a card-carrying Lady Gaga fan, right? I think she's amazing. I've seen her in concert. I'll just buy anything she's selling, right? I'll eat it up. But I think it's actually the first week of the year was when it came out. So I saw it right at the beginning of 2022. Her film House of Gucci from Ridley Scott. I should say, I thought she was great in it, but the film itself was very average. I think for a movie that's helmed by Ridley Scott and has all these A+ stars in it, it was just it was actually quite bland. I think it started off quite strong, where it focused more on Lady Gaga's character because she's the best part of the film.
Matthew, no, stop. No, I'm going to completely disagree. No, she was horrible in it. What are you talking about? She's not a good actress.
Oh my God,
No, she's horrible. And to be honest, I think she was the worst bit of the Jared Leto was the worst bit of the film. But I would say she was probably a notch up from him. In fact, so badly cast. And there was all this Oscar buzz, and I'm thinking, no, you don't deserve a bloody Oscar for that.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, you had the right to your opinion, but the critics disagreed. Same with The Star is Born. I think she can act. She proves it in The Star is Born, but even in House of Gucci, the overwhelming consensus among film critics was that she, and I feel the same way, was that she was the best part. She has this kind of even though, I can give a bit of concessions to the accent was a bit weird. She has this magnetic screen presence. So even in a movie that's very bland, and I felt it was, and it dragged out quite a lot.
It was horrible.
When she was in the movie, at least when she was in the scene, I should say, you kind of still were interested. You're oh, I wonder what's going to happen with her character. Whereas all the parts that didn't have her in it, all the parts that didn't have her in it, I felt were just very and also, I think they didn't focus on the right parts because the focus was on her for a lot of the first half of the movie, and then in the second half she's not in it that much. It's more about the wheelings and dealings of the Gucci family, the guys and stuff, and they're quite boring. Who cares? So yeah, when I first came out of the film, I should say I actually enjoyed it, probably because she was in it. But now that the dust has settled, it's been 6 months, I feel like I can say the movie itself is quite average.
I think this is an example of America and how they approach film, because that should not have been an English movie where American actors have these Italian accents.
That's true.
It should have been an Italian movie. It would have been much better.
I actually do agree, yeah.
Yeah, and I think what they would have wanted to do was cast your A-listers, your Jared Letos and your Lady Gagas, but bad decision. And definitely, I actually saw that film on the 1st of Jan.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, oh, great start to the year. And also, may I just say, Matt, I mean, again, you're watching this through rose-colored glasses. I didn't think she was good in A Star is Born either. It felt like just watching a music video that she just repeated through all her songs, where in between she had a few lines of dialogue. It was okay. But
we're all entitled to our edgy opinions.
Okay.
I'm even if people don't like House of Gucci, I'm Star is Born, I feel objectively a good film with a good performance, but
yeah, that's fine.
What's your bad pick of the
it would have to be Downton Abbey, A Golden Era.
I haven't seen it. I also haven't seen the TV show, but I kind of know what it's about.
Look, the TV show was really good. It was really well written. Each season had some really good story arc. It was one where you wanted more. And I feel as if with the films, either they've completely missed the point of what the TV show represented. I went to the cinema and I remember looking around and, it was definitely a 60-plus older white audience. I remember thinking, okay, let's see how this goes. And what we got, it was it was just catered to that age group where, and I look again, you know, I'm just a bit cautious about not meaning to sound ageist or anything. It was just very fluffy and it didn't have substance to it, no diversity in it, and I think I mentioned this to you before. You know, sometimes I look at films like that and I go, well, why do you make it? Like, you know, if there's going to be no diversity in it, what's the point of making a film like that? And we didn't really need another Downton Abbey. But at the same time, you know, if they do make a third one, I'll still watch it because I'm a fan of the TV show.
Well, that's maybe answers your question. Is that that's why they make it, because they know that even if the movie itself like isn't received that well, because they know they've got to not dedicate, you know, people that like the show, they'll go and watch it.
Yeah, 100%. I do think it ended. It ended well. I cannot give too much away, but I think when this movie ended, I remember thinking, okay, I think this is it. It's done. But yeah, I would say that would be my pick.
But you do enjoy the show, right?
100%.
So then, because it's the same, I'm assuming the same characters in the movie.
Yeah.
So was it just that like the storylines that they gave those characters in the movies were just not that interesting, or like not as compelling as they are in the TV show?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, look, I think in the TV show, yes, they are rich white characters that reek of privilege, but for some reason, I guess the storylines in them were so good, you forgot that. And there were some really good, funny moments in the TV show, whereas in this, all I could see was rich white problems, and it was not compelling anymore.
Who are some of like the big? I know it's kind of got like it's like who are the big names in the show in the movie?
Yeah, so I mean Maggie Smith, she plays Violet, who was the grandma, and some of the other actors in the show have gone on to do other things. I would say probably the most common one is Lily James. So she's done Cinderella. She's done she was in Pam and Tommy recently.
Okay,
yeah. So she was not in the films, but she was in the TV show. Then the actor who played the Beast in Beauty and the Beast, I cannot remember. I think Dan Stevens. I think that's his name. Like he's in the show. Who else is in it? And you'd recognize a lot of the actors in the show because they've since gone on to do other things. And
so is this the first? Sorry, or is this, you said, the second adaptation they've done, like a movie?
Yeah, so they did
not adaptation, but
yeah, they did. Yeah, so they did. So it was just called Downton Abbey the movie, and then this is the second one. Again, it was not a needed sequel. Having said that, it's not the worst movie I've seen.
Yeah.
But for 2022, I would say that would be. I would say, maybe House of Gucci would be on the same
But
level.
Also, as like a fan of the show, you're probably like, it would have been disappointing to then watch the movie and it not being really like on the same.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, exactly right. So, look, that would be my pick for the worst film of 2022 so far.
Okay.
Let's see, we've got another couple of months to go. So
That's true.
let's see. Anyway, that's all the time we have to talk about 2022 in film, at least the bad bits. You're watching the Film Whisperers on Ben TV.